Nick Priegnitz here with Duramaxtuner, Gale Banks, Banks Power. We're on the engine dyno today with Aaron. Aaron is operating the dyno. There's a lot of chatter in the forums, in the aftermarket, on Facebook, whatever. Add 2 degrees of timing, take 2 degrees of timing out. What change does that make, right, as a tuner? It's a term that's tossed around a lot. So I think we owe it to our listeners today to show them we have an awesome lineup of instrumentation here. I mean, we have literally everything you ever want to see on one of these engines. We're going to run this sucker at full song. This is an L5P. We're going to run it at full song, add 2 degrees of timing, see what kind of change in cylinder pressure we get, what kind of change in turbine inlet temperature,
exactly,
discharge,
and where the peak cylinder pressure occurs.
Yes, that's where the location
deal.
is.
As we advance, we're looking at EGT. Is it going up? Is it coming down? Does it like it?
Right.
And it'll tell us in a variety of ways. We're going to do it with constant fuel rate and just move the timing around and kind of watch how everything reacts to that.
I mean, you're going to get to be a dyno operator for a day. No worries, Aaron.
And
you get to do it the rest of the time, but we want to see what it's like, man.
And we're at 2,800 RPM.
Okay, so bring us up.
Yep. Here we come on manifold air density is nearing 200. 200. 205, 210, 15, 20, 225, 230, 235, 40, 45, 250.
All right. So we're up at 480 horsepower right now.
All right.
Starting from the left, we have our peak cylinder pressure right at 180 bar.
Yeah. And it's occurring at...
Here's our number after top dead center here.
Nominally 6.
Okay. So peak cylinder pressure is right about 6 degrees after top dead center.
Right. I want to
peak of around 180.
Yeah.
Okay, what about our turbine inlet temperature?
Turbine in? Where are you at?
So we'll call it 800 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
And our boost pressure?
Boost pressure is 30.5.
30.5.
It's right here.
And our turbine inlet pressure?
Turbine inlet pressure is 39.
39.
Okay.
We're stable. I'm going to bump it.
So Aaron's going to bump the timing.
Okay, let's watch it. What's that? We got 2? Huh?
That's 2 degrees.
So that's 2 degrees at 2,800 RPM. What do we do for
Horsepower
power?
is up.
5 horsepower.
Yeah, what's your brake spec?
Brake spec is 390.
390 brake specific fuel consumption.
Okay, so we got about 4 or 5 horsepower up to 190 bar, so we got about 10 more bar on peak cylinder pressure. We came advanced, maybe, not much. Flirting with 5 degrees, but still in between 5 and 6. Okay, what about our turbine inlet temp?
Turbine inlet temp is still 797.
797, so very little change there.
We're right up against it.
Okay, our boost pressure is 30.8.
30.8.
And our pressure in the exhaust manifold?
Yeah. Turbine in pressure?
Turbine in pressure is 39.
39, so very little change there as well.
It actually dropped it a little.
Yep.
You want to try 1 more degree?
Bonus footage, add 1 more.
Significant change over here.
And all it did was give us more cylinder pressure.
So that's good point. So our cylinder pressure is on 195.
Now let's retard it to.
So you want to go from 17 to 50.
There you go.
Cylinder pressure dropped. What's your peak cylinder pressure?
Peak cylinder pressure is down to 177.
Yeah.
We lost 10
Power's
horsepower.
down. Power's down.
Yeah, so we lost 10 horsepower,
Yeah.
9 horsepower.
We were in the sweet spot.
So did I get that right? Adding 2 degrees, added 5 horsepower, dropping 1 degree? Or did you drop 2 degrees? We dropped 2 degrees in the second.
Yeah.
So first we added 2, then we added 1, then we came back to 0 and subtracted 2.
Gotcha.
And
That cost us 10 horsepower to go
Cost
down
us-
to, but gain 2 horsepower, or gain 5 horsepower to go up to.
Yep.
And when we went to 3, we got cylinder pressure.
We didn't get power.
Right, we're getting the cylinder pressure in the wrong spot. That's the problem. There's a geometric thing going on in the engine that has to do with the piston, the rod, and the angle between the rod and the crank arm. That's constantly, those 2 angles are constantly changing.
Yep.
So when it's all stacked straight up at top dead center, the piston has no mechanical advantage over the crank.
Okay.
As the crank turns, the rod follows it, the piston's falling. So it's constantly changing the mechanical advantage between this vertical center line of the piston through the wrist pin to the angle of the rod relative to that, and then from the rod relative to the crank. So when the crank and rod are 90 degrees to each other, you've got maximum mechanical advantage over the crank, but you may have lost some of it with the angle from the piston. So this cylinder pressure lets us find, with that bore and that stroke, the right timing and the most efficient.
Most efficient timing, the best balance.
Exactly.
I mean, if we, let's say we take it stupid, right? We push timing way advanced, cylinder pressure goes way out of spec, right? Head gaskets, bearing failure. I mean, all sorts of bad stuff. Let's say you weren't using an engine
as
dyno,
we say,
right?
as we say in Top Fuel, you might kick a rod out, or you might melt a piston in this case. Now, when we're not changing the fuel rate here, we're just moving timing around.
Right. Everything else is kept set.
Now, on time is another. Injector on time is another one. You know, racing these things, I have found around a total of 40 degrees of crank angle on time of the injector. You go beyond that, you start making a lot of EGT.
Yeah, diminishing return. After.
Yeah, you start boring holes in the piston
It's a bad
that
day.
are aligned with the nozzle holes. So,
all right, guys. Well, I really appreciate your time on the engine dyno today. Hopefully, you guys learned something watching this stuff. You don't know it until you see it, until you see the data, until you get the analysis. So, thanks, Gale. Appreciate it.
And for more information, go to thedieseltunersblog.com.